Going to be a little windy, June 23rd. Rolled up through the orchard, high weeds. We'll be mowing this within a couple weeks, but just blossoms everywhere. Got some blackbirds mad at us. Red-winged blackbirds. Look at the blossoms all over this thing. We'll have exponentially higher production this year. And with production will come problems. How to collect all the produce. Who collects all the produce? Do we do a U-pick? Do we hire people? Do I do it all myself? That'll be a little windy, but let's just go look at some blossoms. Getting ready to come out and bloom. We usually bloom around the 4th of July. Maybe we'll jump a fawn. Push along some turkeys. I don't have my puppy with me today. Yeah, so the thing you trade in when you don't fertilize your trees is your trees will look to your eye just a little weaker. Even though they're pretty good, they'll look just a little less deep green. Here's the tree we freed up from its tube. It's got a little bit of a lean, but that tree should do fine. Looks good. And at least 4 or 5 inch diameter base. Beautiful blossoms getting formed there, ready to get fertilized. Lots of blossoms there. This is a Ching seedling. But, you know, people will ask me a lot on survival. You can get them into the orchard, from seed to orchard, if you do everything good, with well over 90% survival. Maybe even 98 or even higher. Maybe even 100%. But once they're out in your orchard, as I get more experience, I know better, you know, what to recommend. But I would say the survival is you lose about 10% of trees for the first 2 or 3 years. So you'll have about 70% of your original trees, would be my guess, at least where I'm at with the type of care I'm giving them. Now, I'm not killing all the grass. I'm not fertilizing every year. I'm not killing the grass nearby. I'm not putting down mulch. I'm not watering them once a week. I'm making them survive. Got a red-tailed hawk up here hollering at me. I don't know if you can see it. This guy lives right beside my pond. There he's hollering right as I turn away. But, I mean, you look at these trees. What I do is just have a backup of trees, a bank in a nursery, and I replace them every year or two until you end up with an orchard that looks like this. Now, some of you are more intensely focused on them. Some of you are better at it than me. Some of you have less stuff going on in life. You're in a different phase. I'm not retired nor semi-retired. I have 4 kids involved in all the stuff that kids do. Just got bed after bed here. Deer bed, 2 beds I just walked past. So, you know, I'm not going to be able to come out here every day. I also don't live at the orchard. Many of you don't live at your acreage. So I have to drive about 40 minutes. Yeah, we can look up here. You got a tree here. This tree has big old long blossoms getting ready to open up. But the tree itself looks a little lighter green to me. Let's see what this one says. It says shing. I think seedling of a shing. It's produced Oh, we got a deer here. We do have a deer. Down here in the soybean or cornfield, you see it? It sees me too. Trick if you don't know, if you walk side to side, so if I go left to right, he runs away. But if I had walked straight towards him without going side to side, I could have gotten much closer to him in 90% of cases. Now he's snorting. I didn't see any headgear on that one. But if you walk directly at a deer, directly without any lateral movement, you can walk steadily directly at them and often get way more close than you would ever imagine. So try it next time. It's a lot of fun. That's because predators never approach them head on. They're always angling. Look at this one. It's got some awesome blossoms. Not the Outback version, but the Outback in the orchard version. That don't hurt me to look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, keep on walking down. You can see the grass looks a little different here. It's a little shorter than right here. This is where we usually mow. This side we don't mow. This tree's a little more anemic looking, but still just tons of blossoms. The male blossoms tend to show up later, but if you want to look at one, starting to form right at my thumb. You see that? Right there. That's going to be a female bird. A little spiky bird. Now look at this tree. This tree looks horrible. Look at it. Something is wrong with that tree. Barely surviving. Just a few branches, a few leaves, and still trying to blossom, but it's got an issue. Now, I can't tell just by looking down the tube, but I don't see blight, but it could have phytophthora. It could have been hit by a deer. I don't see that, but the tube's all jacked up. Looky here, boys and girls. Look at this old tree. Happy. What's it Uncle Si says from back in the day when Duck Dynasty was rolling? Happy, happy, happy. Maybe that was not Si. That was actually Phil. So this tree, if you look at it, just has a much more open center. This has not been trimmed, or it's not been pruned to open center, but it's just coming out of the tube and immediately sending branches lots of different directions versus that tree, which has a big vertical leaf. Now here we go, C130s. I've shown you C130s before. I don't know where they come from, but apparently they like to roll over here. C130 rolling down the strip. Raise your hand if you ever jumped out of one of them. My hand is up. Airborne daddy gonna take a little trip. Stand up, hook up, shuffle to the door. Jump right out and count to 4. Let me tell you, you can count to 4 and you pay a lot of attention counting to 4 when you jump out of the side door of a C130. Oh. Got a little bit of wildlife here. Got a little, some sort of moth. Probably something bad. He decided to leave. Blossoms everywhere. Used to be excited to see a blossom. Now we just got blossoms. Blossoms after blossoms. You can see I've got a tree in almost every tube at this point that's alive. Now right there, deer beds all around it. 2 deer beds. This is where fawns hang out. Looky here, they bedded down right underneath this one again. See that? It's hard to see. Everything's flat. It's hard to get that perspective. but it's all flat. That's a deer bed. So maybe we'll push something up here. Now here's one of my older rows. Got a tree. Now look at this. This tree had buds coming out right there, but it's dead. Dead. Leaves are dead. Now look, it's trying to survive. Got some greening here. Let's do some exploration. Now here is the source of the death. This is sad. There's a dead bird there. This is the negative of tubes. They get down in the tube and they can't get out. That's a shame. Oh, it's heartbreaking. Bluebird. Poor bluebird. Sorry. Now, this tree has a lot of sprouts from right here, but looks alive above it. I don't see blight. But there's a bunch of sprouts right here, so something is going on just above it. We'll just have to see. Maybe it's just not cold. Can't tolerate the cold. Maybe it's too wet. Maybe it just doesn't like me. But breaks my heart about that bluebird. And I did put bird netting on all these, but once the trees start coming out, you think that the bird's going to be able to survive because there's a branch there and they're going to be able to hop up and get back out. But apparently that is not the case. Doesn't appear to be a tree doing well here. There is a tree there, but it's young. There goes a deer. It was bedded down here. Yeah, well, we're 2 deer and we're just walking. You plant it, trees grow at different rates. I've been walking through the older part of the orchard because it's more interesting because I've already seen these young ones before. But look at this row. Tree, lots of trees. Look great. Look at the next row. Newer row. Tube after tube with no tree. Then there's 2 trees out. And then no trees there. This is what I talk about. This part of soil, it changes on the geological survey. Let's see if we can do a little education here. Looky here. See this this is lack of tube maintenance. This is my fault. So stand by. This is why releasable zip ties are so great. I can release that zip tie. This tree's old. ChestNUT Ridge, Pike County, planted in 16. We're gonna bring it up. Now, whatever happened to this tree, it's dead. You see it? Dead, real tight. Maybe it just hated being that tight. This is one of the, the things you can't fix with. You have to do regular maintenance of your ChestNUT tubes and find out if the top died or broke off or got blight, because you can't just quickly look at it. I'm looking at this. It's hard to say what happened to this tree. Let's get down, see where the new stuff's growing. I'm gonna say this could be blight, so we'll keep an eye on this one more season. See right down there by my finger? That section looks like blight, and that's a dead section. And then here's a live section coming up off. Not sure. And I'm gonna say that could be blight. Trees from Dunstans are not guaranteed to be resistant or completely resistant to, or immune, I guess is the better word. They are not completely immune to the blight, but they do much better than the American chestnuts, which are not good. Here's another problem. Let's look down in this one. I'm gonna let you look by yourself. I don't know what you saw there, but there's a wasp nest in that one. Problems with tubes. I'm gonna let that tree figure out if it can make it out past the wasp nest or not. Then you get this guy. Previously was this tall. No idea what happened to it. Looky here. Beautiful new growth. So we'll just have to see. Beautiful new growth out of this one. But the cause of death of the previous leader, unknown. Well, I'm rolling up through the orchard. Again, we got young and old. Young side of the orchard. Some exciting things to look at. Some empty tubes and replacements needed to make. Over in that part, beautiful. Well, let's see. Doing the annual family trip to the land of my father, Minnesota. Thanks for joining me on the walk around Lake Erie chestnuts. Trees are looking beautiful. Got just some great blossoms. Should be exciting harvest. Got the old tundra. I'm hopping in. Hopefully your trees are doing good. We're gonna fire up the old chariot, head home, take care of some rental maintenance. Any of you guys run rentals? I love it, but it don't come without work. Remember, if you're not growing, you're dying. Thanks for following me here. Lake Erie chestnuts. We'll see you around the bend. Maybe post a little bit of Minnesota fishing, maybe a little muskie action. Take care, everybody. See you on the next one.